It is the 8th of November. This is Rabbi Levitt, Gemorrah.
All the best, Otsar, a treasure house. And Rav Chisda said that we buy for him a Sefer Torah. And Rabbi Bar Huna said we buy for him a dikla, a date palm, so that he'll be able to eat dates. And then, of course, he's got the fruits of the tree and the fruits of having a Sefer Torah that he could learn from it. And when he becomes of age, he has something of value. Its value didn't go away. Okay, so now we go to after that. And we are holding near the bottom of Pei Zion Amid Base, 87b. And we got up to V'chein Amar Reish Lakish. So Reish Lakish said, see where this is? V'chein Amar Reish Lakish. It's the last two lines of the page.
87B4, left-hand column, bottom paragraph.
So Alan, would you like to start us up?
Sure, why not?
Morning.
The Gemorrah returns to the question of who receives the compensation and injury sustained by a minor daughter. The Chain Omar Reish Lakish. And so Reish Lakish said, Lo Zikzor Torah La'ov Eleh Shavach Orain Bilvad. The Torah granted to the father only the gains of the girl's stage of Na'arus. Hence, he does not receive a payment for an injury. The Rabbi Yochanan Omar, the Yochanan said, Afilu Pitseor, father is entitled even to compensation for a wound that she suffered. Woman challenges Rabbi Yochanan's ruling, Seor Salkor Toch. Does it enter your mind that the father is entitled to the compensation of the wound? Afilu Rabbi Eliezer, why even the answer? Lo Komid Yor Lay Elor Shavuor inquired about a serious injury. The Chasor Kasapor, which lessens her value. Vol for Seor, the Lu. Saw was some more, but concerning the wound, it does not lessen her value. Low or way. He does not inquire. The Gemara clarifies Rabbi Yochanan's ruling. Rabbi Yosef Bar Chanina, Rabbi Yosef Bar Chanina said, Shifta or but so before the Africa saw me support. Rabbi Yochanan speaks of where the assailant wounded her in the face and lessened her value. The father therefore reflects the damage payment.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The footnote says when it says about when it mentions the word wound, the footnote says the Gemara assumes that the wound on the girl's back or some other concealed place, which does not reduce her value, even if it leaves a scar. So does that mean that she's allowed to conceal the fact that she has a scar on her back in the case of marriage?
Well, what are we talking about over here? We're talking about something that's going to lessen her value.
Right.
So presumably, we don't mean to say that the reason that her value is lessened is not lessened. Rather, we don't mean. I don't think the Gemorrah means that the reason that her value is not lessened is because she's going to be able to successfully conceal the matter from her. First of all, here we're not talking about a prospective husband, right? A husband doesn't pay for the girl. We would be talking about her value if she would be if the father would need to sell her as an Amma Ivriya, because he didn't have he has no money. So that would be the lessening value that we're talking about over here. So in any case, to the prospective buyer. So to this prospective buyer of an Amma Ivriya, for her to function as an Amma Ivriya, her value is not decreased by virtue of the fact that she has some scar on her back.
Would her
Because
value be decreased if she had a scar on her face?
That's what the Gemara is saying. Yeah.
Why? If she's a slave, it's not going to make her not able to work. She can work just as well with a scar on her face as if she doesn't have one.
Well, we said before that a male who is bald, it also would decrease his value. So this is seemed to be a similar thing. It's a moom.
I thought we said with the male that was bald, it had to do with his ability to have an employment as a clown. I don't remember what we said over there.
Okay.
It was also embarrassment. It was an embarrassment issue, I think, wasn't there?
Okay. So let's take up before we jump to any conclusions over here. Let's do what we always do. Let's take a look at Rashi, see if Rashi answers some of these questions that we have, and if he doesn't, then we'll have to look. We'll have to think of an answer. But
Rashi's not really answering it. He's only saying her value gets lessened, lessens the value. That's only the top one in the next on Pechet Amalaf, the first Rashi. The Hare biyado l'machar, because it's in his hand to sell her, the Nara. So that's all it's saying, that she's going to get lessened. Now, the wounds you're talking about, there's a difference between the concealed wound, which nobody sees, and the outright one, the one in the face that everybody sees. So they're claiming somehow that seeing one in the face really does lessen her value. We're seeing, if it's concealed, how can it lessen the value? Nobody sees it.
let's see. Okay. We're also, in any case, let's start from step one. The Gemorrah said that in the name of Reish Lakish, that the Torah only gives to the father lo zochs Torah la'av ela shvach shevach neurim bilvad.
Yeah, I don't understand that statement either.
Okay, so we maybe is so. I think this term has been mentioned before in the Gemorrah in this sugi over here. Actually, before I came back, I don't know if you discussed it, but it's but the point over here is that when in other words, her earnings would go to the father at that stage of her age.
That's when
but
she is below 12.
Nara is when she becomes 12. She's got when she becomes 12, she's becomes a Nara.
A Nara, okay.
And then when she has also Simonim, it's and another half a year goes by, then she has the status of a Bulgaris.
Okay,
She's,
so they're narrowing it
full-fledged,
on this
adult.
1.5 year.
Yeah. So the point over here of what the Gemara is bringing over here is to say that according to Reish Lakish, the Torah only gives the father these profits of the Nara for her for whatever it is that she's earning, I believe. But the implication is that Demei Chavala, what she would be entitled to as a victim of an assailant who injured her, that the father would not seem to have any he wouldn't have any right to receive that. And then Rabbi Yochanan, on the other hand, he seems to be arguing with Reish Lakish. That's not the first time the two of them argued. Rabbi Yochanan says, afilu p'tzia. Rabbi Yochanan says even a like a wound as a result of an injury, the father would receive that according to the Torah. So here we have a machlokas over here between Reish Lakish and Rabbi Yochanan. Now, that was really the subject of our Gemorrah up until now. On that, the Gemorrah asked the question. What's the question? The Gemorrah says, "P'tzia sokadaita." You thought that a wound, that's what the father's going to get compensation for, according to Rabbi Yochanan. That's difficult. Afilu Rabbi Elazar lo yikam le ela chavala de avchasa mikaspa, because Rabbi Elazar, when he posed the question, Kamaboyale was he had a suffix about the matter. It was a suffix to him, and so he posed the question. He only had a suffix about whether the father should receive a chavala, a compensation for an injury that reduced her monetary value. Davchasa mikaspa. That she's now, if she would be sold as an amivriya, she would be worth less on account of that injury. But if it was simply a wound that didn't result in such a loss, So then that wasn't the question of, then he had no question. Then Rabbi Elazar didn't have any question. In other words, in such a case, it's clear that the father is not zocha in that money. So the Gemorrah seems to be asking a question on Rabbi Yochanan.
Wait a
How
second.
could Rabbi Yochanan?
What do you mean in that money? There is no money in that case.
Well, there's going to be injury money, right? There's going to be the 5 payments. She was injured by an assailant.
But
So
I
there are
thought
going
we
to
were
be
only
payments.
talking about the payment for the wound. Oh, you're saying the payment for the wound is all 5?
Well, we're talking only about the. I mean the 5 payments that are paid as a result of the injury. She was injured.
So in this case, there's no loss of value. She sells for the same thing on the slave market before and after. Correct?
So what is the halacha if there's no loss of value? If there's no loss of value, so in that case, the Gemorrah says that Rabbi Elazar never had a question. His whole question about whether the father should get the payment is only in a case when there was a loss in the value of the daughter.
Right.
But if the injury did not was not accompanied by a loss in value, so then he didn't have any question about that case. Meaning that what? Meaning that it was pashut to Rabbi Elazar that the father would not be zocha in the demei chavala, in the payments for the injury. So it comes out that the Gemorrah is asking on Rabbi Yochanan. What does Rabbi Yochanan mean when he says that the father is going to receive demei chavala even for a wound? So on that, the Gemorrah brings the answer of Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina, who says that, what type of a wound are we talking about? We're talking about a type of a wound that does have a loss in the value. There is a loss in value. Avchasa mekaspa, because the petza is on her face.
So in other words, the Hava Amina was that it was talking about a concealed wound, and Rabbi Hanina is saying no, it was talking about a revealed wound. Correct?
Right. A revealed wound, which causes a loss in value, and that's the case that Rabbi Yochanan would say that there is going to be the father would be zocha in the payment for the injury.
Reish Lakish says no, that he's not entitled.
Right.
He's
Shlokish
not
says
entitled, no matter what.
Right. The only thing that father gets is the shevach neurim, right, and that would not include injury money.
The Shevach Neurim is basically what, her salary?
I think so. What if she finds 200 shekel on the sidewalk? I don't know if that's considered to be Shevach Neurim. The basic understanding is what she's able to earn, her earning capacity. So you're asking So that okay, so that's the Gemorrah. So you're asking 1 second, if her whole job is to be an Amivri and to do service, so why should the master pay any more for a good-looking servant than for a not so good-looking servant? So the answer to that question is, but that's the market. That's what I would say. The prospective buyer is going to pay more for her.
Okay, but I thought we were talking about her salary.
We're talking about the fact that Rabbi Yochanan says, yeah.
I see my
We're just
confusion.
saying that. Okay. Now I have another note over here. We were asking about the 5 payments. What exactly are the 5 payments that we are talking about? I mean, are we talking about 5 payments that the father gets, or are we talking only about a certain specific payment? So over here, yeah, that's the rationale over here for Rabbi Yochanan is, like we said, that if he would sell this, if he would sell his daughter with this wound on her face, he's not going to be able to sell her for her full value, and therefore, in that case, he would be zocha to the mechavala. He would be zocha to the payments of for the injury. Now, which payments of the injury is he zocha to? So my note says over here in the name of the Rif and also the Ramban, about Batsar u Baboshis, af Rabbi Yochanan moda de Eina av chalak behem, v'lo hefsid mehem klum. L'chei no sein hachovel es de mehem labas atzmo v'lo la'av. Okay, so in regard to the payment of Tsar and Boshis that she suffered as a result of this injury from this assailant, Tsar, the pain and suffering; Boshis, the embarrassment of the injury and the way she looks now, I guess. Even Rabbi Yochanan will be moda that the Av is not going to get that. Lo hefsid mehem klum. Therefore, he doesn't lose out from that. Lo hefsid mehem. That's not his loss, and so therefore the assailant will pay those payments of pain and suffering and embarrassment only to the daughter and not to the father. So really, you're coming back and saying that the question is, you're asking like this, that look, if she didn't have, sorry, what are we saying now? Now we understand. She has gotten, she is worth less. That's what we're saying. She is worth less as a result of this wound on her face. She is worth less. If the father would sell her, she is worth less. So that's the loss of the father. That's the loss of the father. So the father will be paid he won't be paid for the pain and suffering. That goes to the daughter. He won't be paid for embarrassment. That goes to that goes to the daughter. Both of those payments go to the daughter. The father doesn't get that. But where he has lost, like for example, in the case of her value is less now, so that would be under the category of nezek. That would be under the category of damages as a result of the injury. And of course, doctor bills that they're going to have to pay. If that would also that would presumably go to the father too.
Really? I would think it would go to the daughter. She has to pay the doctor, right?
Oh, so who has to pay the doctor? Now we get into the other. Okay, we have more about this. Oh, we have an awful lot about this. Harush v'meiri hosifu she'af b'demei haripui shetzorik letake leroife letzorik ripueha ein la'av chelek. The father has no part of the he doesn't get that from the assailant. Okay,
You're saying he doesn't get the payment for healing.
right. That goes to the daughter. Ulam, that's what the Rush and the Meiri say. Ulam balamor kosav she'amnam es demei hatsar v'haripui ein la'av notel aval es demei haboshes mishalem hachovel la'avia kevin sheyesh la'av hefsed b'boshato she'av chisa b'bosha zu mikesef kiddusheha k'mavor b'ksuvis. According to the Balamor, although the payment of Tsar and Ripui is not gonna, the father does not take that. But the interesting, he holds that the Mea Boshis, the embarrassment, the father is gonna get. The assailant will have to pay that to the father. Why? Because the father is the one that sustains the loss as a result of her embarrassment. How so? You hear that noise?
No, it's actually quiet here right now.
Okay.
I have drilling going on in my neighborhood, but right now they stopped.
Oh, okay. What is the reason the father gets the payment of Boshis? What's his loss? Shavchisa b'Boshis zu mikesef kiddusheha. On account of that Boshis payment, they're going to diminish the money of the Kiddushin, like it says in the Gemorrah Ksubis. Okay.
What do you mean the money of the Kedushin? I thought we said before that there was no money of Kedushin when I mentioned the wound on the back.
Yeah, we'd have to take a look at this. I'm not sure what he's referring to over here. There's a citation here to a Gemorrah in Ksubis. Ksubis Mem Vav Amid Beis. We'd have to take a look over there and try to understand what it is that he's referring to. Hefchisa b'Boshe zu mikesef kiddushaha k'mavor b'Ksubis.
Sounds like it's saying that she loses somehow in her ketubah because of the embarrassment.
Hefchisa b'Boshe zu mikesef kiddushaha. I don't know. It's what? She loses her ksuba because of Boshis? Why?
Aren't there principles of how much goes into the ksuba? How much is specified in the ksuba, depending on whether she's been married before or she's a virgin. Maybe this Boshis could also affect that.
Well, this is talking about kesef of the Kiddushin.
Right. What is that? I'm suggesting that maybe it's referring to the amount in the kasuva that she's entitled to in the case of a divorce.
Okay, we'd have to let's take a look at this Gemorrah in Ksubis. Ksubis Mem Vav Amid Beis. I can't figure out what he's saying over here. We'd have to take a look at the Gemorrah inside. Oh, it went off. Okay. Mem Vav Amid Beis. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, this is the Mishnah. You got the Gemorrah?
I don't have it. I don't have that particular book.
Okay. Ha'av zakai babito b'kiddusheha b'kesef b'shtar wabiyah. So this Mishnah is talking about the cases that the father is. What are the payments that the father will be zocha in on behalf of his daughter? Oh, here's what the Gemara says over here. Upagam, shiny boshes pagam, the aviha nami shayach bey. Okay. Boshes and pagam. The father is also he's got some interest in that. Yodo litol mamon ulabaisha beboshes ze lemosra lebias kedushin lemenuvo mukashchin. Uh-huh. Oh, I see. Okay, so it's sort of a technical thing over here that he's just pointing out that the father does have a hand in the boshes. But estimea boshes mishalem hachovel leaviha keven sheyesh laav hefsed b'boshata. He has a loss in her boshes. Shevchisa b'boshes zu mikesef kiddusheha. Well, maybe that's not what I was looking up. Maybe that's not what that wouldn't be enough to explain it. No. That won't explain it. Okay. Okay, so let's just let's fine. So Boshus the father gets for the reason it's said in Ksubis over there. And but what about the okay, so we've covered Tsar, we've covered Boshus, we've covered Ripui, and we haven't mentioned Shevis or Nezek. So those are certainly things that the father has a hefsid in. So that's basically what we're saying over here, according to Rabbi Yochanan. We're talking about a wound that results in the lessening value of the daughter, and that is reflected in the Nezek payment. And so therefore the Nezek payment will go to the daughter, because that's the loss of the father. Because if he would sell her as an Am Ivriya, if she's gonna look not so nice, he's gonna lose out, not be able to sell her for her full value. That's basically what the Gemorrah is saying over here. That's all Rabbi Yochanan was saying, that the father is going to get that payment of Nezek.
Only if it's visible.
Right, because otherwise it's not, you're saying, well, does that mean that they don't have to disclose? It's not so consequential, not such a consequential thing. She's being sold as an Am Ivriya to do service. So the fact that she has a something on her back, that area is covered, and she's no less pleasing to her master to serve in that capacity. So I don't know if it would be an issue.
Right. Okay.
All right. So, okay. So let's start the next section over here. A chovel. We are. Oh, did we get to the end of the? Yeah. Oh, we turned the page. Yes. Right. Oh, we have to have a round of applause. A round of applause for Pei Zion. Paz.
Pei Zion.
Paz. Paz is the finest gold.
Isn't it Pei Chet?
Yeah, the one that we just finished is Pei Zion.
Oh, we finished Pei Zion. Right.
Yeah, we go from the finest gold to Pach. That's the garbage receptacle. But okay. All right. So now we've got, what do we got? So now we go to the two dots. A chovel be'evet kanani shel acherim chayev. That's the din that we see in the Mishnah. So now the Gemorrah is going to ask about that. Okay, so Phil, you want to read?
Let me unmute myself. Tell me if it's too loud, though. Chovel, we're going to start the two dots. Someone who wounds an Evet Kanani of others will be chayev. My timer, Rabbi Yehuda. What's Rabbi Yehuda's reason? The pasuk says, "Ki yinatsu anashim yachdov." If men are going to fight with each other, ish v'yachiv, the man and his brother, a fellow Jew. The mi sheyesh lo achot yitzav. If it's a man who has a sister, he would be he's yotza. Eved she'ein lo achot, a servant who's not a sister. Well, I'm talking about a sister here. No, it's achot is the sister. It's no, it's achot. Sorry about that. Someone who there is a feeling of brotherhood with. He does good. An Evan, a servant, she'ein lo achot. There's no family relationship with a servant. The Rabbanan achiv who the mitzvah. The Rabbanan say the brother is someone who is with mitzvahs. Ela me'ata Rabbi Yehuda zomei eved lo. Oh, that's a new section already.
Okay, so the Gemorrah wants to know over here. We said in the Mishnah that somebody who causes injury to Eved Kanani, somebody else's Eved Kanani, he's obligated in all the payments. And the Gemorrah asks, "Who might time of the Rebbe Yehuda?" So, where did Rebbe Yehuda come in over here? So, if you go back and look in the Mishnah, you'll see that the Mishnah states not in the name of anybody that there's an obligation, but Rabbi Yehuda says no. Rabbi Yehuda says that he's patur. He's patur from what we say over there. He doesn't ain't lavodim boshes. Rabbi Yehuda said ain't lavodim boshes. So that's the Gemara's question right here. What's the reasoning of Rabbi Yehuda that they got that they're not going to be compensated for boshes of the Eved Kanani? And so that we're going to see when we see tomorrow, Bezrat Hashem.
Sure. Take care.
Okay. All
Thank
the
you,
best.
Rabbi.
Bye-bye.
Everybody have a good day.
Me too. See you later.